and I hope everyone is doing well. It has been a really long time since I've put out a new video, and I'm excited to do this one tonight for you. It is a resin art project. I have fallen in love with resin art, and I have recently been doing a lot of ocean-inspired charcuterie boards and coasters and lots of different things, and branched out and even tried a couple of craft fairs, which I did really well at. So tonight I was able to acquire 5 nice long charcuterie boards, and I'll thank my sister for that one because she picked them up for me. And so tonight I'm going to do one, and I figured that that'll just be a sample, and then I can show people, and then if they want to order one, I can I'll make them up as an order comes in, or I can make one, sell one, make one, sell one. I'm not going to do all of them because I might come up with different ideas here and there. So tonight, that's my plan. I'm going to work on that, and I will show you everything that I do so that you can do it too. They're not hard. They're just a little finicky sometimes and take a little practice to get the right consistency for the wave, and a little practice to, work with the resin. But over time, I promise, you keep doing it long enough, you'll get cleaner. I was really messy at first, and the process has gotten a lot better. I'm a lot less sticky. And yeah, I have a lot of fun with it. And I love making them. I love the ocean-inspired theme, and so do a lot of my customers. So it's been a great combo, and I'm really happy because they're great sellers. And so without further ado, let's get this resin board started. All right. Okay, so I'm not too sure how much I will be in this video, but what I need to do is get my resin poured and started first. So the size of my board, I'm just guessing for my 3 colors, I'm going to need 7 to 8 ounces of resin. So I use this guy, Magic Resin. It's out of Canada. I'm really happy with the product. It's the tabletop and art epoxy is what I use because I don't want it to scratch. I want it to be pretty, I want it to be a solid, good product if people are buying this. So I've got my mask, and I've got my gloves, and then I've got my pigments. I'm not going to use that one. A lot of people don't like to tell you what they're using, but I've been zooming in on people's photos when I, find things that I like on Instagram or whatever, and I've fallen in love with the Mayspring colors. So this one is Opulent Tanzanite, this one's the turquoise blue, and then I've got the tropical blue. So those are the 3 colors that I'm going to be using. I'll leave a little bit of clear for the resin, my wave, and then, sorry to jump in front of the camera, in front of the phone. I also use this Illuminite white, and that's what I use for my wave. So just by sort of zooming in on everyone's photos and whatnot that they post, this is what I bought and tried, and I really like it. And their stuff looked great too. So one thing I found with the white, you don't need a lot of it. And this is my reminder that you do not need a lot of white. So you only need maybe 2/3 or 1/3 of this for your boards, or half of that. You do not need a lot of white. So my daughter pulled that out and said, Mom, this is your reminder that you don't need to make lots of white. So I'll leave that there. And my apologies for my messy little area. I tried to clean it up a little bit. My daughter and I share it. So I just recycle all my Greek yogurt buckets. I make sure that they're nice and clean inside. Yeah, there's no dust in there. I'm going to do it in ounces. Tear that off. And these ones don't seem to mind if you do you can mix them together, these two. Doesn't have to be A to B or B to A. Okay, so I'm going to do 8 ounces. I'm going to do 4 of each. Okay, get in there. 4. Oh, it's 4.2. And this guy. And then I'm going to put on my mask because I forgot to do that. Then, okay, there we go. And then I'm going to put on the sexy mask. And it's not going to fit very well because I'm wearing a hair clip, but that's okay. Hey Siri, set a 5-minute timer.
5 minutes, counting down.
There we go. So yeah, so you want to be sure to wear your PPE, and you want to be sure to wear, to mix at least for 5 minutes so that your resin is really well incorporated. So I'm just gonna give it a good mix. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes, and I've thoroughly mixed my resin. Now, always follow the manufacturer's mixing methods. And, you know, like one big no-no is don't use cold resin. So mine's, you know, in a nice warm room in my house, so I don't have to warm it up prior to mixing it. But some people use, like, you know, warm water baths and stuff like that. But there's tons of information on the internet or on YouTube about how to use your resin. But for this one, just like for the magic resin, just use it, like keep it in a nice warm room, and it works out well. So I'm going to get my cups. And another thing I didn't mention was take off your jewelry, because you don't want to get, you don't want to get resin on it. So take off your jewelry, put it somewhere safe, and then hopefully you won't get resin on it, because you don't want that on your nice jewelry. Okay, I'm going to get organized here and put my cups out, and then you can watch me put my pigments in, and we'll go from there. Okay, and for my blues, unless you're going to mix a lot of pigment in to get a darker edge, sometimes the pigments just don't cut it. So you want like a opaque blue underneath. So I'm going to, I haven't tried this before, so let's hope it works on my new board. I'm going to use some good paint, Liquitex Basics Payne's Gray, as well as some of the Mainspring Opulent Tanzanite together in one bin, or together in one pot, to get a darker edge around for my first layer, my darkest layer. Look how beautiful it is. Can you see that? And you don't need very much. And put your lid back on in case you accidentally dump it. I could just see myself doing that. When you use these, just like you're mixing your resin, you want to make sure that you mix the pigments in really well, especially, and the paint too. Look how pretty that one is. It's a turquoise blue. Okay, tropical blue. Okay, and then for my white, I'm using the Illuminate White. I just put in like a couple little drops at the bottom there. Okay, I have all my colors mixed. I'm going to turn the camera around onto the board and show you the board. And I'm going to grab my gloves. And I think that's it. I think that's all I need. Okay, so I have set it up backwards because I'm going to put my dark color over here, then my second color, then my light third color, then I'm going to put a little coat of clear, and then I'm going to put my white. And then I'm going to use my heat gun to blow my white back across all the ocean. So this is the first of the second coat. So it'll be 2 coats, and this will be the first coat. Decisions. This one first or this one first? This one first? I think I'll use the dark blue. So one of the things I really like about the cups is that you can squeeze them. So give it a stir before you pour it. Give it a stir before you pour it. And then you can squeeze your cup and give it a little fine point and then direct it where you want it to go. Okay. Stir. I just wanted to check and make sure you're still recording. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start to just sort of blend them all together. Okay, so now that you've blended all of your colors together, I'll go after and make sure that everything's covered as well on the corners. I'm gonna lay down a little row of the clear and then my white, and then we'll heat things up and start moving it around and making some waves. Okay. Now my final layer, the white. I'm really gonna put that in a little Okay. So now, because I don't want a sticky heat gun, I am gonna take that glove off, and then we'll just start spreading it out. I'm pretty happy with it. But what I might do is just take my white and make it look more of a shoreline. Now, hit it with a little more heat. All right, and then the last thing I like to do is I have some Q-tips. I see a little bug flying around here. He's gonna end up on my Okay, pretty happy with that. This guy too. Okay, so that's my first layer. So now I'm just gonna keep going around and just kind of double checking it and make sure that I've got all my spots. And then I will come back in a day or two and I'll put my second layer on. And yeah, and then we'll have a second layer of waves. Okay, so things I've learned in the past, don't take your hand over from one to another. Don't go across if you've got resin on your hands. Okay, I'm pretty happy with it. I see a few bubbles. Okay, I think I'm done playing with it. Let's go down and I'll show you. Except for I think I see a hair that somehow got in there. So let's see if we can get that out. I do not know how that got in there. These little toothpicks are always good to have on hand so you can grab anything out. Okay, so yeah, the shadow. So when I put my second layer on, that edge is going to go darker and disappear. I'm still gonna have a few little, I missed a spot. I'll have to put my glove back on or grab something to, I'll just grab this. Now what I didn't show you was the bottom and how I did that. And I did not tape it. I'm gonna sand it. And I am, see, there's another little spot. But that's okay. It's gonna probably be covered anyway with my next layer. But I see another bubble. And I like this little lighter guy because, see, when you hit the bubbles, they, the resin just shrinks back in. But I like this little gun because it's not super powerful and it, there's one.
it won't, well, shouldn't burn it, but if you get too close, it will burn your resin. So don't go close to your resin. But look at all those waves. Like, look at the lacing you get from that, whatever brand it is I use. What is it? Illuminate White. So yeah, so we'll, I'll let this one cure for a couple days. I'll keep checking back for bubbles in the next few minutes. And then I will, when it's time to put the second coat on, we'll do part 2 of Thank you for joining me tonight and making the resin board with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I covered some of the basics. I was a very, very beginner at this as well. And yeah, like I said, now I make boards and they sell like hotcakes at the markets. And I reasonably price them at $40 a board. I'm not, you know, hundreds and hundreds of dollars for a board. This guy that I just made, I plan on selling him for probably $120. But we'll see. But that's my guesstimate for this one because he's a long one. And we'll see how that goes. But yeah, you know, if you have any questions about any of the products I use or, you know, how I do things, just resin is finicky. You just, you know, you sort of have to baby it and, you know, till you get your end result. And don't be afraid to just, you know, just try and experiment, try new things with resin. Resin is super fun to work with. And yeah, and you can get some really cool end products from it. So there you go. So anyway, thank you for joining me tonight and stay tuned for part 2 of the second coating of the board. I'll probably do it in a 2 or 3 part series, layer 1, layer 2, and sanding and finishing, maybe something like that. And again, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that's recently subscribed to my page. This is one of my first videos. Well, this is my first video of 2025, so I'm looking forward to posting that and getting that out for you guys. And again, if you have any questions, you know, why I do what I do or how I do what I do, I would love to try to help you as well. All right, because, you know, you can take a little side hobby and start making some really great money with it if you start putting in a little effort and, you know, making an effort to get out to the markets and sell to your friends and family's friends. So there you go. All right, have a great night and stay tuned for part 2.